Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another episode. Folks, I'm back again in World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King. And before we get into this, I just wanted to take a couple of seconds to thank everybody for clicking on this video and choosing to spend the time with me. I really do appreciate it. So we're going to crack on with leveling up our Death Knight. And I am really looking forward to getting that first level. And I guess in a way, making that first actual step towards level 80. So we're going to continue with the quests in this particular zone, try and get as many as possible, making sure that I pick up all of the flight paths as well. That is quite important. Apparently there's quite a few flight paths that you can pick up here in Northrend, so we'll do that. And yeah, this is where we're at right now. We've actually done quite a good job with more or less clearing out a good section of Howling Fjord, if you guys can see. So we still have, I'd say, maybe half or somewhere around there. But in the long run, at least for me, I am going to aim to do as many quests here in Northern. Now, of course, I know when I get to level 80, whenever that's going to be, there'll be a lot of things I'll have to also take consideration of. You know, it'll be gearing up and professions. I want to get, like I said, dual spec. I've said that before in several episodes in the past. I do also want to get the epic flying mount. I think it's a journeyman flying mount. There we are. This is what we're looking for. So let's try and see if this works. Oh, hello. Okay. That's fine. I figured it out eventually. Okay. So apparently this hippogriff has babies, and that's why it's flying about. It is a cool color combination, if I'm honest. I actually do like that. So apparently hippogriffs lay eggs because obviously they have a nest. So if it makes a nest, then my logical conclusion would be that it lays eggs. Does that mean they make omelets out of them? That's a question. I mean, probably not the best question I could have asked, but hey ho. So that completes our quest. We also get a good reputation here. So see if we've unlocked anything new. Nope. Oh, hold on a bit. Something's happening. Okay, so we'll just wait for these folks to do whatever they're doing, and maybe there's a follow-up quest. Just having a look around to see what the situation is. Okay, we got these right there as well. Alright, there's nothing really to follow up here, I guess, so I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm not sure if we're going to do that one with the rock dudes. They seem to hurt quite a bit, so I think we'll hang fire for now. Not really. Music enabled. Hold on a bit. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just playing around with the keyboard and stuff. And yeah, we don't want to disable music, but I just never knew that apparently you can do that from the keyboard. Interestingly. So I'm trying to basically bring up the map and stuff. There we go. I don't know why it was doing that. So every time I pressed the M key, it was enabling and disabling music. No clue why that was a thing. No clue how that was a thing, honest to God. Yeah, I was trying to bring up the map, and every time I pressed the M key, it would either enable or disable music, which kind of sucks. We definitely do not want music disabled. I do actually enjoy listening to the music as I do the quests, and it does add to the immersion, if I'm honest. And personally speaking, I feel like the WoW team have done a good job with the soundtrack for this game as it is. I actually quite like it. Alright. So just kind of having a look at where we need to go. Okay, that seems to work. Fair enough. Could have done this quest a lot earlier on. Okay, we definitely upset this wonderful little Ivy. I guess we broke up a friendship there. I mean, we do need to kill them anyway, so it's no biggie. Tell you what, I am looking forward to gearing up and doing some serious damage as well. And I think the first thing that I'm really hyped about is the dual spec. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am enjoying the spec that I've got. It is really good. It does make it difficult for NPCs to kill me. I constantly heal, and I realize when I go into the unholy spec, I'll be a bit more killable because I won't heal as much. But the trade-off will be that I'll do much more damage. Bear in mind that the way I've spec'd on the Death Knight is more for the purpose of actually being a tank rather than a DPS. I think you can also do a DPS spec on Blood, although I mean I think you can DPS pretty much on all skill trees. So, but I find the ability to tank and be a self-healing tank quite intriguing. So it's kind of why I went for it.
I'm out of range.
Okay. Alright, okay. Okay, for a second there I thought I group pulled, which doesn't really matter, but I'd rather just focus on what I need to do than pull in additional units. Right now, anything that I kill, whilst it does yield some XP, is more of a waste of time. Okay, we're out. Goodbye. Not hanging about there. Just whilst I'm also on the video, I'm just gonna basically forewarn people that things are getting a bit busy in my day-to-day life, and it's just one of those phases that does seem to come around quite periodically, which does mean it will affect the amount of content I can put out. I'm not going to stop making content. There are those that do enjoy the stuff that I do, so I will continue to do that. It may be at a worst case scenario for some time, and I'm expecting, you know, this to happen quite soon. I don't know when, but it'll probably be something along the lines of a video every other day, whilst the events in life that I am expecting to come up kind of run their course. So that's just the way it is. There are several things I do also want to do for World of Warcraft, and that will, of course, be guides and some little tutorials and tips and stuff. So I will also be covering that when I get a chance. First things first, though, I need to get to level 80. I need to run the whole marathon of leveling up, which is always fun. I do realize how far I am behind right now, in the sense of there are people and players now that are probably getting their epics on, or, you know, have made a good what's the word I'm looking for? A good start to getting geared up, and will probably start raiding Naxxramas soon and stuff like that. So, you know, I will be behind. Now, that does, of course, impact me in the sense of when I do the heroics, I will have to compete with very highly geared players in terms of pretty much anything. So if I do tanking, it'll, you know, they'll do that much damage. I'll probably struggle to hold aggro. It's just the way it is. And also, if I go in as a DPS, I'll probably do very little DPS as compared to them. But, you know, eventually we'll get there. Once we get there, it's going to be a lot better. There's just a bit of a grind phase. Now, ultimately, I do also want to raid Naxxramas. I kind of know the strategies. I very vaguely remember Naxxramas. I remember the bosses, not all of them. I remember the layout of the raid, but not that good enough that... Well, it's not fresh memory, is it? It's 10 years, so... You can imagine how my memory would be. Okay, I want to get that right there first. I am going to gather as much ore as I can, just because we do need to stay on top of leveling our mining and blacksmithing. There are some nice epics, if I remember correctly, that we can craft when we level up our blacksmithing. Definitely want to be doing that. If not for myself, then at least for the purpose of selling it. So there's that to keep in mind. Alrighty. So I'm going to try and pull several of these guys because they do seem to be a bit fanned out here. Oh, I think we pulled a decent pack here. Let's do that. Perfect. I'm going to have to take one down as quick as possible because whilst I am healing, I'm not healing quick enough. Alright. This should make life easier once this dude's down. Come on. There we go. That's that down. And just you to deal with. I am that relaxed right now that I'm not bothered about looting the bodies. I do find it difficult if you do use your mouse to click. If you use your mouse to click, sometimes the game doesn't really know what you want. So you want to click on the target that's behind a dead body. It often figures that you want the dead body and you want to loot it. I'm guessing it's something to do with the hitboxes of the creatures. There are those spores there that I don't really know what to make of. I have a feeling I should stay away from them. So I guess that's probably the wisest thing that I could do. We do have these dudes right here to deal with, so I guess they'll keep me busy. Alright. Of course, he's going to bring a friend to the table because, you know, that's no surprise. It's a good thing I am better than I was when I started. I remember I don't know. Right now, I doubt my memory, if that makes sense, because when I started out playing the Paladin, I couldn't pull multiple targets. Now I can. Now this might be a thing that has been introduced with Wrath of the Lich King. Maybe I didn't know the Paladin class that well. Maybe I didn't know the game that well, and so therefore wasn't able to pull multiples. So I'm not quite sure, but that could very well be a thing, you know, because I remember when I first played, or when I played many years ago, like I said, I had a Warlock, and with the Warlock, I would always be targeting multiple units at the same time. I'd use the Void Walker to tank them, and then basically I would basically be doing the exact same thing that I'm doing now, say for questing or farming and stuff like that, and I'd pull 3, 4, 5 units, and I'd let the Void Walker tank whilst I DPS them down, and I was actually able to DPS them quite quick. Now bear in mind, with the Warlock I did raid, and one of the things that I did use, if I remember correctly, it's actually one of my favorite spells, and so that's why I remember it. I used to use Seed of Corruption quite a bit, which was quite cool. That thing, when it popped, boy did it do so much damage. Alright, so it seems like we are done here, and we're going to move on to Another region. Apparently there's something. There we go. Something around here that we need. I mean, let me just find it. Or find a way to get to it for a start. And this is where having a flying mount would have been a bit useful. We don't have to go around all these things. We can just fly straight to... Okay, we don't want to fight those guys. This looks like a horde base. Yeah. I don't know what the game wants me to do here, but I am not going in PvP. Huh. Now, I am 100% sure this is a horde camp. And I don't understand why the game is sending me here. Or it might just be Questy that's bugging out. But, yeah. Oh, it's actually quite a big camp. I don't want to aggro any of these guys. If I do aggro, I'm going to have to run away. As you can see, they are elite, so they will probably squish me. Spores frozen. Well, I remember something about spores in that last area that we were, so I do wonder if Questy is sending me to my death, really. I see we got players in there and stuff. Yep. Okay. This is actually quite interesting. Every bit in my gut tells me I'm not supposed to be here. This isn't really what I need to do. Alright. Okay, so we need to have a look here. Okay. Quickly gonna go through the quests that we have. And read them out because yeah, I'm not really sure why Questy has brought me here. There we go, there's a horde player that just walked past us, so I might as well just get out the way before we get into trouble. Okay, that is so confusing. I think I know where I need to go, if I'm honest. Get rid of this. I'm just trying to find the quest right now. So this is the one that we completed, which was somewhere around there. I mean, that doesn't really make much sense. I don't think this is a PvP type of quest. So, let's see. There we go. Spores frozen. Alright. Okay. So basically we're meant to use a core and supposed to freeze the spores and stop them from regenerating. Okay. Then, I mean, it gives a very rough location. I think I know which spores she's on about. And so that kind of confirms my original suspicion here. And now let's see if I remember what the spores are. Sometimes I think, wrongly so, that I know where I'm going, and I don't. So here's to hoping that I am going in the right direction. Slightly wrong. There we are. There we are. Ta-da. So this is what I'm thinking right here. Give it a go. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to fight it or what. So when I'm attacking it, it's not doing really any damage to it. I'm gonna have to clear out this path just to kind of experiment with that spore and see if I can get it done. I have an idea of what I'm supposed to be doing. Not 100% sure of it though. But I'd rather not have to deal with these guys as I'm trying to figure it out. So that's why I'm clearing them out. If this is correct and this is what I was meant to do, then I kind of wasted a bit of time in the sense of Can I break these things? Apparently so. See, I was expecting them to be a bit more dangerous, but they didn't do much of anything. Huh. Right, well... That's fine. Okay. Well, this is the stuff that the device, the contraption that I'm meant to be using to freeze the spores. Unless that's supposed to kill them and then freeze them, which then would make sense. Okay. Dealt with you. Let's see what happens now. Obviously, the spore's gonna die, but I wonder if supposed to use the ice core, enchanted ice core, once they're down.
I need to target something first.
Huh. Wait, hold on a bit. Ah, that makes sense now. You have to click on it. Okay, cool. Okay, I know what I'm doing now. It only took me a while to figure that one out, didn't it? Okay. That's fine. This is a fun thing about doing quests, because once you've done them the first time round, you kind of know what you're doing instinctively. I mean, you'll remember them, so when I come back with the second character, I'm going to know what I'm doing. So I do like it. I do like stumbling in the dark to find my way eventually. Right, let's move you somewhere away from the core so I can actually see it. Tell you what, you hit me. I just have a feeling that he's going to fall over the core and I'm not going to be able to click on it, so might as well just do it now. And it's a good thing that I can actually cast this freeze thing whilst I'm being hit. Because some skills, some of these types of quests don't work unless you're out of combat. See, in my mind, I made much more of the cores. I thought they were more of a threat, more of a danger than they actually are. I guess in my mind, I was kind of comparing it to Aberration, or thinking of Aberration with the mushrooms, where they do some very not so nice things to you. So they're pretty harmless. They don't really do much apart from the fact that you just have a whacking thing to whack. And then, of course, at the end of it, you put your freezer on them. Your little core on them. Get them all frozen out. I just had an idea. This could be a game called Whack-a-Spore. Hey. Hello there, friend. I think you're having a bit too much veg, mate. You're a bit green.
I don't have a target.
So, I suppose might as well bring it up as a little topic whilst I'm playing the game. As you can see from my last set of videos, I've actually gotten quite into World of Warcraft right now. I'm really enjoying it. Bear in mind, this is World of Warcraft Classic. Oh, dude, that spore is well hidden in the foliage of the ground, really. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, I've gotten well into World of Warcraft. Now, since I last played it, many things have happened, and of course many expansion packs have been released, which in turn, of course, as this is an MMORPG, and it is a story-driven MMORPG, the story has advanced. So what I've been doing off camera, I've been catching up with the lore, and it's actually quite interesting. It gets quite complicated at a certain point. But I was just basically going to mention and say that I'm really enjoying the lore as well. And I guess now that I'm doing it with a bit more of a mature mindset, kind of know how some of the quests play into the lore. So it's nice to see that. Obviously, my only grudge is I would like a bit more voice acting. The lore is so good, and I feel that's more or less one of the improvements that could have been done with Wrath of the Lich King. I believe that the new expansion packs, or retail WoW really, has a lot more voice acting going on. I tried it a while back. I even tried it on the channel, and I believe it was Legion that I tried. But I wasn't really sure, or I wasn't hooked on it. I'm pretty sure right now, if I were to go and play retail, I'd be well confused. It's probably a completely different game in terms of how it plays and stuff. That many changes must have taken place in the gameplay mechanics. I'm almost tempted to actually give it a go, but right now I'm enjoying Classic too much. Maybe when I get bored of Classic, I'll give retail a go. I suppose at heart I'm more of a Classic fan, and I'm going to be honest and say I personally love Wrath of the Lich King, and so Arthas's Lich King and Illidan Illidan Stormrage are actually two of my favorite baddies. Turns out, actually, Illidan Stormrage isn't really a baddie, so to speak. I'm not going to give out too much details for those that want to read up on it, but it is actually quite an interesting story as far as Illidan goes. Saying that, though, one thing that I found myself doing, because I do have Amazon Audible, I have actually bought some World of Warcraft books, and when I'm editing and more like rendering and editing, what I do is actually put them on, and the stories are really, really good. It's definitely my cup of tea. So now I'm trying to decide, right? This is always going to be the more difficult thing to do. See, we get sets or bits of gear that are that little extra bit or better than what I have. It's just a very, very, very tiny small improvement. And so because I've got some epics, I do bring into question, or I find myself questioning if I should change out the gear and what to choose from the quest. Now it does make a difference in the sense of we do want to improve the amount of damage that we do. We do want to improve our stats. It'll make our life that much more easier. And I know that I am going to shed the old gear. It's always this first step that I find difficult. It's because it's an epic and you kind of get attached to it. But once you get rid of it and you start getting better and better gear, it does become a bit easier. Alright, let's see. I think I know who we're looking for. We did fight him a couple of times whilst we were here. Okay, see if I can find him again. See, it's one of those scenarios where we constantly had to fight him when we were not looking for him. And it's probably going to be a case of where, now that I'm looking for him, I'm going to struggle to find him. Okay, there he is. That's the one. Yep, okay, I was right. And I guess with this, I'm going to be able to move on to the next zone. I mean, we've been here for a while now. We have also leveled up, so I've got that level that I wanted. And you can see, well, I'm just looking at the clock now. We're kind of coming up on 30 minutes since I started the recording. And you can see how much we've progressed in terms of XP. It's going to be a long grind to get to 80, and I reckon once I get to 80, I'll spend some time enjoying being at 80 with this character, doing all the end game type of content and stuff. But basically, it's going to be a bit of work. I'm not so worried about this one. It's more the paladin that I worry about, because we've got enchanting. That can be a bit of a challenge, that. Which is why I do wonder if I should probably change enchanting to something else. But then on Sethum, I'm a bit broke. I was saying that I'm probably going to be a bit broke on Miranda for a bit until we get things rolling. But once we get rolling and we start doing some epics and crafting some epics and stuff like that, we should be alright. So I might have to send some money to Sethum. Saying that though, I did take money off Sethum to actually level up or fast level or boost my I think the term boost probably fits better with what I want to say, and that is of course boost my blacksmithing. So I think I took about 400 gold off Sethum, and I kind of left them broke, so we'll probably send back about 400 or 500 gold to Sethum, and then we should be good to go. Bear in mind, Sethum is also going to get a dual spec. We're going to do healer with DPS, and so that should pretty much solve my problems of doing runs. I can join as a healer or as a DPS or as a tank, and I have two options, both plate wearers. I think the next one after that will probably be a cloth wearer, and I'm thinking of my warlock that I haven't touched for quite some time. So I'll have to go back to the Burning Crusade, level through that, and then get ourselves into Northrend. But what I'm going to do when I do get to the Warlock stage and having to level up the Warlock, I am going to level up until we get to 70 in Outlands, and then basically move into Northrend. This seems to be working right now, so by my calculations, by what I've seen, I think I might possibly have a chance to get 2 levels here. That would bring me up to level 72 if it works just as good in Borean Tundra, and we can pull 2 levels there, or just a little over 2 levels. That's already, what, 74? We've got quite a few other zones that we can go. Basically, if I get 2 levels per zone, I hope that it will leave 2 zones where I didn't do any quests. And at level 70, the quest will yield quite a decent amount of gold. So that will be one way for me to make gold. A bit of a backup if you want. Of course, I don't know how expensive things will be that we craft. So that's also another option for making some gold. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't know how I'm going to get the epic flying. I call it epic flying skill. It's the journeyman flight skill, which I really do want, and I find that it'll be quite beneficial to have. That is 5,000 gold, and it is really expensive. Okay, so we're gonna go to Westguard Keep. I think basically this will be more or less sort of the final area that'll have the bulk of the quests here in the zone. After which we'll have to find other places to go and quest. Potentially gonna move into, like I said, into Borean Tundra. Now, the one thing I do worry about is when we get towards the end of the quest that we can pick up, how much traveling we'll have to do between quests. Hopefully not too much. So, I guess that's one of the things that sometimes can be a bit annoying. But I am going to persist with it. I do want to kind of complete the zone, so to speak. Okay. Quickly discover this flight path. Or pick it up. Whichever. Okay. It worked eventually. I'm trying to remember how to get into this. Actually, there's supposed to be an inn around here, so I'm going to set my hearthstone here for now. Ah, there we go.
Looking for something specific?
So let's see what we have.
What are you looking for?
Talk to you, get rid of what we don't need, set my hearthstone, stuff like that, all that good things. Let's see. I haven't really picked up a lot of stuff that I don't need, but there are some things in my inventory that I could probably do without. Also, let's kind of have a look at what you have to sell. I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to hold on for now to what I have and sell it off later. I do want to pick up this quest. I'm going to guess this is a cooking quest, which is always nice. Alright, we've got your quest. Beautiful. So we go into the keep itself. I think this is what it is, maybe? Or is this like a little prison thing? I'll go in here because I think I can see some quests. Now, I know there's a section down there that we can go. I know there'll be some quests down there, but I think the ones I'm going to be able to pick up for now should be up here. Yep. That's fine. Alright, let's pick these up. I'm looking at what to choose in terms of gear. If we get anything that we can replace what we already have, give you this. The clutches of evil. Yeah, we got that. We got these things. Alright, we get some nice things out of it. Really do like it. We're getting loads of health potions, so that's good. I do wonder how many of these presents that we get, these hold on a bit, let's see, Northrend presents that we get from the quest we'll be getting basically until we level up. I can see these, whilst they're nice now, I can see these being a bit of a hindrance later. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to look for ways to actually keep them in one way or another, because we are getting a lot of good stuff out of it, really. And so I don't want to be wasting anything that I get from these. I want to try and get the most out of them. And now do bear in mind that, you know, the mana stuff I'll be sending to Sethum, which will probably fill up his bank space quite quickly in his inventory space. I'm going to keep the health potions and stuff that actually affect me on the Death Knight. But if we get a lot of them, we're going to be running out of storage space. And I don't want to sell them. I don't want to waste them. We'll see. We'll see how we manage for space. I think that's one of my fears right now. But with that said, that is pretty much it. We got some stuff sold at the auction house, as you can see. That is it for now. So I just wanted to thank everybody that has clicked on this video and has chosen to spend their valuable time with me, and just say that I really appreciate your support. Also, don't forget to hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And of course, as always, until next time, stay safe, folks.